Hey guys, my name is Deani Monet and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today is May 10th. It is now on day 5 of the Nurses Week Marathon, and today we're going to talk about the NCLEX. I am happy to have you guys back. I'm starting to think that late night videos are my thing. It's now 4:12 in the morning. And I'm doing my video now because I work tonight and I wanted to get the video out the way. That way you guys won't be getting a video like super late in the day. So yes, thanks for watching. Let's get started. So, what is the NCLEX? The NCLEX is their standardized state board examination for registered nurses. You have to take the NCLEX after you complete nursing school, and it is pretty intense once you get to that point. So I took the NCLEX on January 28th, 2019, and I passed it with 256 questions. I think it was like the max questions on my first time. You know, people are like really discouraging when you say, oh, well, I got the maximum amount. It doesn't matter. I passed NCLEX on my first time. I don't care if you get a 75 versus getting a 265. Passing on your first try is amazing for anybody. So don't let anybody discourage you. Honestly, you don't have to tell anybody what you got. Just know that I passed. And I got my degree and I got my license and I'm a registered nurse. That's all that matters. The NCLEX, I believe, has had some changes to it since I took the exam. However, I heard everything is still, for the most part, pretty much the same. So the minimum questions you can get on the NCLEX is 75. The maximum questions, I believe, is 265. And I literally have 5 tips for passing the NCLEX. Okay, so my first tip for you is to understand that you are not going to know everything on the NCLEX examination. It's impossible. Nursing school is a minimum of 2 years with additional 2 years of prereqs. It's a lot of information compound into a 256 maximum question quiz. It's impossible to figure out or understand everything the NCLEX is going to ask you. That's why it's very important to understand how to take those test questions. It's mainly scenario based. That will get you to pass the NCLEX. My second tip will be to register for the Kaplan live sessions. I did a Kaplan live sessions while in school, so I know other schools do it as well. Kaplan is a questionnaire based organization that pretty much they have a lot of study plans and study guides for every examination test for the most part, but they have a really nice live session review that they do. It could be a little costly. Mine was included in my tuition, but I did it my last semester of nursing school, and it's basically been one of the Kaplan instructors. They come out, they talk to you about how the test questions are asked, how to decipher what is the question asking, and then how to answer that question without even knowing, for the most part, any general knowledge about the information. It helps you figure out, well, what am I looking for? Is this asking me about diagnosis? Is this asking me about some risk factors? It literally helps you distinguish between the right answer by basically knowing how the Kaplan or the NCLEX tests are written. I personally benefited from that because I will tell you, I'll be the first to tell you, I am a terrible test taker. Terrible. I get very bad anxiety. I freak out. That is something that I have always struggled with. But with the Kaplan live session, I was able to learn how to look for keywords or learn how to look for key answers that makes a question or answer better than another one. So since Kaplan was one of the things that my school offered in my tuition, I didn't really have to come out of pocket per se for that. My third tip will be UWorld. UWorld is an up-and-coming organization that also does test questions for the NCLEX, but UWorld for me was mainly just test questions. They're all scenario based, just like the NCLEX. So you get used to answering questions and reading scenarios. It makes you more familiar with what you will see on the NCLEX. Now the UWorld has a bunch of questions. I want to say over 1,000 questions that you can answer. So I brought UWorld and I literally did like maybe 100 questions a day. And it seems like it's a lot, 100 questions a day, but I would do like 50 in the morning, 50 at night, to kind of break it up. But the key point to taking these test questions is to do the remediation. For me personally, I continue to get test questions that have to do with pediatrics or mother-baby, or I could not answer those questions when I was taking the practice exam, and I did not remediate them as well as I should have. And then I got to the NCLEX, and those were like all of my questions, peds and mother baby. So they say like the NCLEX kind of, if you get questions wrong, it'll like filter them out and you'll get like more questions of like the same topics if you get them right. However, for me, I didn't experience that. I felt like I was getting all of the mother baby and the peds questions, and I knew that that was material that I did not know as well. So make sure you do that remediation, because that is a key identifier. Like, okay, on the NCLEX, you might struggle with this section, so re-look over this stuff, and that will help you do better on a test. My fourth tip would be to take the exam within 2 months of graduating nursing school. I say this because the longer you wait, the more information you lose. Again, nursing school is a minimum of 2 years. That is a lot of information that already kind of drifted off in your mind. So remember, for this state board test, it's all of that information that's on the test. Within those 2 months, you're not taking classes, you're not doing anything but job searching for the most part. If you're working, okay, that's one thing too, but you want to spend all of your time studying so that way you can pass that examination and then your job will be solidified. So take it as soon as possible. Do not wait. Statistics have shown people who have waited and took the test like 3 months after or greater than that do not do well on the NCLEX. So take it as soon as possible. Don't wait. Me personally, I took it within, I think, 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks of graduating nursing school. And my final tip on passing the NCLEX is to take mental breaks when you're taking that examination. I cannot stress that enough. I don't know how many breaks that I took, but I do know looking at that computer screen, reading those questions, felt like I was sitting there for 24 hours. And I think that was another reason why I was like just struggling to finish the examination, because I felt like I was getting overwhelmed. I wasn't taking mental breaks. I was just trying to run through the questions. I wasn't like, my mind was all over. Like, I felt like I wasn't really focused on the exam as I should have been. I felt like if I would have answered some questions, maybe answer every 10, every 15 or 20 questions, just take a minute break and just deep breathe, get my mind together. Take another 10, 15, deep breathe. I think that would have been a lot better for me, because when I tell y'all, I was stressed the entire exam, stress. And those are my tips for you for passing the NCLEX examination. Know that nursing is a hands-on field. So yes, test is required, but test does not mean you are a bad or a great nurse, honestly. What you do on the unit or in the field determines the nurse that you are. Please don't let a grade on the NCLEX or a number make you feel less of a nurse. Study hard, continue to have the faith, and you will pass the NCLEX examination. Thank you for watching this video. Continue to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.